to what?
Baggedmilk. Baggedmilk. Baggedmilk.
Oh, I swear.
Oh, baggedmilk.
And I'm hungry like
Baggedmilk.
We'll start with the Ben stuff.
Yeah, so Ben Stelter, 6-year-old, passed away. Friday morning, there's a funeral procession, so if Oiler fans want to head down to Ford Hall, be there by 9:45, and they'll be driving by. You can wave and say goodbye.
Such a cool thing, eh, Baggedmilk?
Yeah, I'm really glad that they put this together because I talked about it on my podcast last week and just on the site in general, how that little man, he kind of inspired the whole city and brought us all together throughout the playoff run and our time knowing him. So I love that they're doing something a little special for him.
You know, it's one of those things where regardless of whatever the family had decided to do, that would have been okay. That would have been fine with everybody. So the fact that they're allowing the city to say goodbye, I think is a nice gesture on the part of the family who is clearly grieving right now. Right.
100%. And thank you to the Stelters just for sharing Ben with us throughout this whole process as well. You saw, obviously, like you said, Locke, the city embraced him from day one, and it's nice to see that we're going to have the chance to say goodbye as well.
Yeah, very cool. We'll move on. I took a look at the Oilers Nation Twitter, and I was like, okay, you guys are excited about the possibility of Sam coming back.
Sam Gagner, another.
Listen, Sam Gagner is one of those guys who has played an entire NHL. He's only a hop, skip, and a jump away from 1,000 NHL games.
What?
And yeah, isn't that crazy? He's
That
only
is-
33
And he's only
games away.
33. Like, he's only 33 years old. It's crazy.
He has only played 11 playoff games
Wow.
in his career in 1,000 games. So if you're telling me that Sam Gagner can't come to town on a PTO or a cheap deal and think that he could contribute at the very least in the dressing room, be the guy who's an embodiment of all things Edmonton Oilers,
Yeah.
play 1,000 games in Edmonton with the Oilers, come on, what's not to like about that?
Yeah. I love it.
Last year he scored 13 goals with the Red Wings, a terrible Red Wings team, and he only played for $850,000, which I understand is a ton of money for a lot of us, but in the NHL, that's next to nothing. So let's make it happen. Come on.
I'd
Round
love
three.
to see it.
Round
There's-
3 with Sam Gagner.
There's something about old Sam, right? Like he's just got this, I don't know, this heart. You kind of want to cheer for the little bastard, right? Like
He's kind of like a Zach Hyman. You're cheering for him.
yeah.
Right?
100%. He's, you know what? He was here just miserable times. Remember if he was part of the kid line with Andrew Cogliano and Robert Nilsson, and they were supposed to be the hope that was going to turn this thing around. And then obviously Oilers went full Oilers and it didn't work out. And then he came back and we were all excited. And then he left again and it was devastating. But you know what? Let's fix this. Let's right this wrong. Because he got sent to Detroit as part of that trade for Andreas Athanasiou. And I don't know if you remember Oiler great Andreas Athanasiou, but that dose of karma, hockey karma, needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the other thing is you bring him back and you let him walk away in an Oilers jersey. I think that's the right thing to do here as well, right?
Well, because it all got started a couple of days ago when Sam on his Instagram posted that he was working out, getting ready for the season, but he did it in an Oilers t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, good
Yeah,
for
So
him.
that's where it all came from. And once we see that kind of thing, well, you got to grab it and run.
You're going to jump all over it.
If you're not following Oilers Nation, you probably should. It's a really good follow on Twitter, and you'll be up to date on Oilers news, obviously. It's front and center. But the other thing that I like about Oilers Nation Twitter is that if there's anything to tell the listening public about beef jerky, you guys are on it.
We're a big jerky family.
I saw your post about the Wilhock moving into the West Edmonton Mall.
It's Wilhock, like tomorrow, I know that, or on Friday, I should say.
Yeah.
We've got our golf tournament out at Cattail Crossing. One team left, by the way. If you want to get in on this, we've got one spot left.
Awesome.
But we have Wilhock at the tournament every year.
Oh.
And it's one of the most exciting things that I do is when I put together the swag bags. And if there's any left, I just hoard them like a chipmunk and they don't exist.
Yeah, you can, if you're the one lucky team to get on, it's nationgear.ca, right, to book on?
Yeah, nationgear.ca. There, we got one spot left.
That's
And
Friday, right?
These tournaments are always, this coming Friday. You got 2 days. Last call.
All right, get on it. Listen, thank you for your time. We'll chat with you next week. It is Baggedmilk from Oilers Nation.
Thank you as always.
The Locker Room.
Brought to you by Always Plumbing and Heating.
Weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.